6 people with impossible superpowers. Kevin Richardson. Some believe that it is impossible to find a common language with wild animals. Despite this, Kevin Richardson thinks otherwise. He is a world-famous behavioral zoologist, in other words, a specialist in animal behavior. For this man, who proved that only on basis of love, respect and trust it is possible to build relationships with animals, the glory of Lord of Animals has long been fixed. For more than 10 years, Kevin has been working with hyenas, lions and other big cats such as cheetahs and leopards. He is easily accepted into flocks by wild and very dangerous animals. Kevin does not use usual methods of training like bullying an animal with stick and chains. Instead, he achieves the love and trust of these dangerous predators. His relationships with wild animals, however, are not created instantly. They are just a result of long and hard work. Most of the lions Kevin works with now, he met when they were cubs. Richardson's skills have developed many myths about animals. He proved that lions and any other wild animal have feelings, characters, and they are social beings. Different species can interact with each other simply based on understanding and trust. However, this does not mean that there is no danger. The zoologist himself was wounded many times by predators during his life, but that didn't affect his attitude towards them in any way. David Blaine. The world-famous illusionist David Blaine is famous for his absolutely incredible tricks, and it's not even about the ability to show tricks, but his ability to put his body in unthinkable conditions and survive.
No, 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 please, no,
oh my God, no!
Please. Yeah.
Blaine's list of frightening achievements includes barrel alive in a plastic container, freezing in ice, 44-day imprisonment without food in a box above the surface of Thames, and many other things. And in 2006, the illusionist tried to break the new world record of being underwater without breathing, while trying to free himself from heavy chains. And before that, he had been in a glass bubble filled with water for 7 days and air was supplied to him through a tube.
Astonishing days where David Blaine has been living in a spectacular 8-foot human aquarium.
It sounds dangerous and even a little crazy, which is just in the style of David Blaine. However, he failed to set a new world record. It was required not to breathe for at least 8 minutes and 59 seconds, but after 7 minutes and 8 seconds, Blaine's condition began to cause concern, and the illusionist was pulled out of the water. It was only 2 years later that David finally succeeded in his plan. He was underwater for 17 minutes and 4 seconds. Blaine later admitted that he had dreamed of setting that record all his life. Troy James. Attention, do not try to repeat what you are going to see. The fact is that Canadian acrobat Troy James is able to bend his body and limbs in a way that is simply impossible to believe. Troy uses his talent to play zombies and demons in movies and also to amaze people at talent shows. Moreover, he can even eat and exercise in such poses in which an ordinary person will never bend in his life. Hurry up, call an exorcist. Troy looks exactly the way demon-possessed people are portrayed in various horror films. The acrobat himself believes that his flexibility is innate. He takes it for granted. He admitted that in school he was teased for such extraordinary skills. I was very embarrassed and I hid my ability from everyone until high school. There my features suddenly became considered cool and everyone loved it. And indeed, the ability is very cool, but we hope that you don't watch this video before going to bed. By the way, some netizens believe that the acrobat has a rare syndrome. This is a hereditary pathology of connective tissues which allows him to bend in all directions. This pathology is extremely rare and doesn't respond to any treatment, but it is quite possible to live with it and even to make your own feature out of it. Maester Zhou, a small group of Tibetan monks known as the Tumor monks, attracted the attention of people from all over the world with their ability to enter into deep meditation. At the same time, they concentrate so much on the warmth of their body that its temperature rises to an incredibly high level. But Maester Zhou has perfected these amazing skills. He can concentrate heat in his hands and then, according to rumors, soothe pain and malaise by applying his palms to the patient's body. When asked to demonstrate his abilities, he dried soft clay in his hand or even boiled water just holding a glass in his hands. Thanks to his abilities and fame, Meister Zhou became known as the treasure or pearl of China. They say scientists conducted research with the participation of the great Meister, but they could not find any specific explanation for his abilities. Zhou himself believed that his strength is just a result of his ability to use QI power and energy. With the help of meditation and concentration, the heat focused in the palms radiated by his hands had a temperature up to 94 degrees Celsius. Werner Fruit. Everyone is probably familiar with the story of Mowgli, a boy who grew up in the jungle surrounded by wolves and other wild animals. But what will happen if an adult enters the wolf pack? As the experience of Werner Fruit shows, it is quite possible to blend in. Communication between the former paratrooper with wolves began more than 40 years ago. During this time, he personally raised more than 70 animals. In Werner's pack there are wolves from several breeds at once. Some are from Europe, others from Siberia, Mongolia and North America. From the outside, the scene of contact between Werner and his pack may seem like some kind of cunning circus trick. 29 real wolves behave quite friendly towards a person. Alas, it turned out to be relatively difficult to achieve this. Werner had to work hard to secure the title of the main wolf of the pack. In addition, authority must be maintained all the time. For example, during each feeding, the leader always eats first and makes sure that none of these wards dare to climb ahead of him. And no special diet, just raw meat like a real predator. During his long life, the man wrote several books about the behavior of wolves, including the most famous work, The Wolf Among Wolves. Werner passed away February 9, 2019, at the age of 80, but remained forever in history as a real wolfman. Jerry Miculek. Jerry Miculek is known as one of the fastest shooters in the world. He's the owner of more than 50 national awards and titles and more than 45 international ones. Anyone who is interested in weapons and their story has probably heard of Jerry because he is a real virtuoso. An incredible shooter who holds several world records in high-speed shooting. 8 shots at one target in 1 second, as well as 6 shots from 10 types of weapons in 17.11 seconds. It is known that since childhood Jerry had a real passion for hunting, and his talent for shooting was discovered at an early age. However, it took years before Jerry was able to use his talent. By the way, along with accurate shooting, Miculek is also a real expert on weapons. He works with such legendary producers as Smith & Wesson, Mossberg, who provides him with sponsorship during competitions. Jerry admits that he has already shot at least 1.5 million cartridges in his life.